following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
Oh, yeah. Time to kick off 2024 on a Friday night as we get ready for the All-American Cup Series presented by Harpoon Design. A new sponsor, a new season, and we are back here on the Captain Esports Network ready to go for season number 7 here of this Cup Series, the second full season of the Cup cars here, and the first time we see them at Daytona in the Shootout, or the MHDesigns Shootout here at Daytona, if you will. As we get you ready, pre-race and qualifying about to kick off here, we'll get maybe some drivers in and so on and so forth as we get ready for what is the preseason race, basically, tonight. 50 laps, 125 miles, and so on and so forth. Actually, qualifying is going on right now on the track, and expect Casey Carrington to win the pole. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but that is, well, pretty much what needs to be said. Appreciate the viewers. I see a lot of people already chatting. I've already gotten a whatever you say from somebody. That was interesting. Thank you, Mr. PR guy, for Colin Curlis. Just Slinging TV watching. iShock YouTube, I think that is. Steve Melnick watching. Deanna Watson, I think that means she's enjoying the music. Hello, everybody. Ready to watch some racing here momentarily on the Captain Esports Network. Man, we got some great things on tap this season. A 7th season of All-American Cup Series. Been some changes and that kind of thing. And, of course, the one thing that has not changed is, of course, I'm here for a 3rd season. And we got a new sponsor in Harpoon Design. Big shout out to Brantley for sponsoring the series. But all the usual suspects are back. We got newcomers in. We've got some newcomers from other leagues that you see here on the Captain Esports Network. We have newcomers that don't have a clue who I am, which is fine. I'm not surprised, and I'm okay with that. Let's put it like that. But needless to say, we're going to sit back and enjoy 14 races coming up here for Season 7 in just a week, starting with the Daytona 200 here at the world's center of racing on iRacing. And hopefully you are ready to go also here this season. I want to make sure I'm actually working on something here real quickly while qualifying is going on. And hey, by the way, guess who I called for the poll? That is correct for those who said Casey Carrington. I don't know what it is, but the dude knows how to qualify. He is an equivalent to Tyler Dalton, who runs over in another league and wins like the polls for every race. And it's like, I just know when that's going to happen. It's kind of weird how that works out. But anyways, Aaron Thomas watching. Apparently got the new updated car models. Probably has the old logos, but it's all good. And so on and so forth. All right. The reason why I'm stalling is I'm waiting on qualifying to end because I'm going to talk to some drivers here. We'll have the 5-minute warm-up session. We'll get some newcomers maybe up here, some of the veterans or whatever you want to call them here. All right, so the warm-up is kicking off. You see the lights have come on now. Patty Heller, hello. Diego Sainz, rookie driver in the series this season. Let's talk to some drivers, shall we? Let's start with the pole sitter. Let's just go ahead and get him up here since he's pretty much told me I can't talk to him during the green flag. He's pretty much banned me from doing it.
Look at this. Look at this. Green flag's waving. Barney's waving it for the warm-up, so you can't talk to me.
Yeah, the warm-up.
I have it written in my contract right here. You cannot speak to me when there's a green flag displayed on the track. So,
okay, so like that means I can't talk to you at practice and warm-up and qualifying and pretty much anything until a caution comes out in the middle of the race.
Sounds about right.
All right, so I'm gonna wait until you get a green-white checker, and I'm gonna come talk to you.
Yeah. Knowing the way you do, you'd probably try to interview me during the green-white checkered.
That's facts. That is so true right there. All right, man. So
Casey, the outside one's about to pass you here. What are you thinking?
Guess I better block.
Oh, I just got wrecked. Time to blame somebody else for it on Discord.
Yeah, a dog maybe. Anyways, so obviously, season 7 returns, and man, we got a very exciting season, I think, to come here.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Usually when we have the off season, it's the only time I can really get a break from iRacing, and I usually do take advantage of that break. But this past off season over the winter, I really haven't. With the oval refresh coming out, that's really changed the game.
Yeah.
We got a lot of new drivers. I mean, God, I'd imagine maybe even the majority of drivers signed up for this season so far before tonight were new members, or guys that haven't ran a full season in the past at least. So it's I'm really looking forward to it. It's like I was telling Davis Warren earlier, I think it's a good sign of how long our seasons are when at the end of them, I'm ready to just close up shop and never think about All-American again. And then by the time that off season's over, man, I'm itching to get ready back at it. And I'm itching right now.
Yeah, a little bit of what they call the burn rate. It can kick in, especially when you've had a lot of things going on during the season and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a new start. Obviously, you got some new rookies in here. The schedule obviously looks pretty good. Obviously, some old tracks, and when I say old, I mean legacy tracks. Got the new tracks and so on and so forth. It's I think it's going to be a good mix of tracks, and of course, you mentioned the new oval refresh. I think changes everything.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting because it's one of those things where even if it's not going to change it a whole lot, it adds that realm of mystery that we haven't really had here in the oval community for iRacing since this league's been around. We're going on 3 years now, but it's it's going to change things up, and just all it needs to do is make it feel a little more alive. It doesn't have to be 5 wide at every track, but just something, if a guy steps out to experiment, maybe he picks up some pace, or maybe he drops some time to the guy behind him, and it just it's more dynamic. That's what everybody's going for, and I think we're going to have that. We got a special package here to debut, test out tonight, so I think you're going to see something you've never seen before on Captain Esports Network. And hopefully the fans and everybody enjoy it. I want to give a shout out to Brantley at Harpoon Designs for coming on board as the presenting sponsor for this season. I know Whitley's here pretty much every week giving a shout out to him on the broadcast. So I'll save the blurb for the 14 times it's probably going to play this season. But big appreciation for him. Big appreciation for all these new members. Big appreciation for everybody watching the broadcast, and always you doing the broadcast itself.
Thanks for coming out. It should be fun. I know you've actually worked on some in-car cameras for the cars, and you've actually updated them. Everything I think should be good to go, man. You got about a minute. Go get ready, and we'll talk here maybe after the race. Who knows?
Yep.
All right, buddy. Casey Carrington, who you're going to hear actually a lot more, not only on this broadcast, but in many other broadcasts, and not to mention the podcast, for those who don't know, is going on. So right now we're going to step away for the national anthem, and we'll come back and get you ready for 50 laps of racing here on the Captain Esports Network.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, great job there on the national anthem as we get you ready for the race here at the Daytona International Speedway. The MHDesigns Pole Award, or the Shootout, I should say. I'm used to calling it the Pole Award because of Mike Husby, who, of course, is the guy behind usually the sponsorships for the Pole Award. And apparently there's something missing here. And I'm going to fix really quickly, so just give me 1 second. There we go. Let's get you the starting lineups for tonight's race. They did a regular qualifying session. And let's hope this all works. My stuff was messing up tonight. I don't know what's going on here. I guess this is where we get the preseason bugs out of the way. Yeah, I'm having all that. That's working now. That's good news. All right, nothing's working. I'm having a tough time getting the rookie blues out of the way here of this new timing and everything works great until I get to All-American for some reason. But the grid's supposed to be showing up right there. Casey Carrington on the... There we go. Diego Sainz starting second. Jackson Van Pelt and Kyle Ethier. I got to update the rookie names so it only puts their first names. Colin, this is why we do the practice race and stuff, because it gets me back in the flow for the series. Steve Ritter making his debut in the series here. Tyler Whittemore, Josh Dillon, Carson George, Davis Warren. As we'll let you go through the field here tonight. You see all the drivers. Matthew Weeks, Daniel Camosa going to be the 25th and final starter. The race information tonight, it's jacked up to 50 laps, 125 miles, 66 degrees as we are under the lights here at Daytona. I apologize. I will get this all fixed up, figuring out what's going on with SDK, why that is doing that to me tonight, but we're still going to get a chance to go racing here under the lights at Daytona. A new experiment setup, as Casey Carrington has said. And it's going to start right now in the MHDesigns Shootout as we kick off Season 7 here at Daytona as Carrington leads them to the green. Diego Sainz in the Juan Pablo Montoya 42 on the outside. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. It's a good opportunity for the cars to and the drivers to get used to being with each other. You see Steve Ritter already getting put 3 wide top side. And look at the nose. I mean, the car is squatting in the rear. It's a different look. And what that's going to do, it's going to create a lot of drag in the car. As to come through turn number 4 into the tri-oval, Carrington leading lap 1. Please work. All right, we got it. Sweet. That's good. top 3, top 4 single file here, and then the first side-by-side battle is now there at 4th. That top side, that 2, that is Kyle Ethier in the iRacing Rusty Wallace throwback. And he's got a good push from the 70 of Davis Warren. I think Colin was the only rookie that's name was. We'll fix that really quickly. There we go. Should fix his name now. So the good thing about the stuff is I can work on it right here while we're racing. So appreciate everybody working with me. As everybody knows, it's a one-man show. It is me, myself, and I. That is it when it comes to this broadcast. So when I need a drink, I have to go get it myself. When I have to go to the bathroom, well, anybody has to do that themselves. But you get the picture. As Ethier topside with help from the 70 of Warren. Might have led that lap. Steve Ritter at 16. The 1 is Stephen Melnick. Or I say that's the 1. It's actually the 34. It looked like a 1 for a second. And then this hidden car number, I don't know who that is. Ah, it's Curlis. As Carrington's going to fall to the back. Hey, you might want to let your boy know that black on black and gold does not go well. Unless that's like a test paint scheme. '27 car has Quentin Sutphin up there on the top side as Melnick moves down. The 91 car, Dylan Rosenberg. Again, you're going to have some different names. Ones that did race maybe a little bit last season, or maybe listen to me, none that did. Maybe late in the season or whatnot. That 48 car, Cam Ingram. Making his, I think, series debut. I'm trying to remember who's raced here and who hasn't. I have to go research that a little bit. But one car that does know how to get around in this series, he's wearing the 16, or 17 tonight, I should say. But he's in that number 8 car. That's that Ghost Energy drink, number 8, Christopher Heller. Got to learn a lot about that guy right there in the last couple of weeks as I ran the 24 Hours of Daytona race last week, and one of his best friends was actually a teammate of mine. He's like, dude, you raced with Heller? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. So, on board with the champion from season 5. Oh, yeah, and we can move some cameras around, by the way, this season, too. So, a lot of improvements in the broadcast. Oh, caution's out. Caution coming out somewhere. It is, oh, Carrington going to the grass here to miss. Stephen Miles misses. It looks like Nick Terrell. Good, this will give me an opportunity to fix the bugs. Nick Terrell's gone around. I don't see any damage on the Doritos car. Caution here, lap 6. Another reason to run this kind of race. You get the, again, the bugs out of the racing with each other, get to know each other, find out who are going to be some good people to race with, and so on and so forth. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage and see the caution here. Oh, one car got loose. Terrell gets turned. Who's that? It got the wall. Give us a better view of that. Oh, it's Craig Martin. Oh, Martin was getting bump drafted. The 85 got in the back of the 81 after the 81 almost turned the 22. So Terrell, Carson, George, and Craig Martin almost kind of coming together. One thing you cannot do is push these cars. I'm totally okay with you chatting, Nerdy Warrior _12. Talking is totally cool, and you will notice I do respond back to viewers. It is something I like to do. As here comes some cars down pit road, so let's jump to live real quick. And I think this is going to be just top off the fuel cell and stuff. They're not going to need tires after 8 laps. Somebody's got a dubby paint scheme. That's awesome. So I wonder, you know what I'm thinking here? I wonder if Casey lifted the front end of the car up to potentially allow these cars to push a little bit with their bumpers. That's the only thing I could think of here. But the one thing I'm noticing, though, and I noticed it off of pit road just now, thankfully they're not rubbing too badly, but it looks like the sway bar in the back is almost rubbing the track. You see that little white piece that's hanging out by the right rear tire? All right, so caution 1 is out. Gives us an opportunity. Let's take a look at the schedule that you will see this season. The 7th season, the 3rd here on the Captain Esports Network for the All-American Cup Series. It all starts at Daytona next Friday night. As a matter of fact, Monday, the Scalicast recording, of course, Wednesday should be released. We plan to have Casey Carrington on the show to talk about the season coming up and also might have some little fun with him. We'll see, though. Auto Club on the 9th, Las Vegas, Rockingham, Bristol. There's that Legacy Texas track we talked about. Pocono, and then a trip to Japan, Twin Ring Motegi. Should be a fun one there. Old School Charlotte, and then April 12th. A little interesting thing here. Road Atlanta. That is actually going to be sponsored by the Captain Esports Network and the Scalicast. And the reason being is it kind of has a connection to me. As I used to live before moving where I am now. I used to live right up the road from Road Atlanta. So it was like, all right, I'll sponsor that race. So we'll celebrate my birthday that week too. Why not? Talladega, Iowa, Dover, and an Old School Atlanta to finish it out on the 10th of May, right before Mother's Day. That's the schedule for this season. Easter obviously going to be off, and so on and so forth. So the leader right now, Davis Warren in the 70. Stephen Melnick there on the outside, the 91 of Dylan Rosenberg. We'll start on the inside there, Casey Carrington. So pretty much first, second, third, and fourth did not pit there. 4 tires and fuel. So it's kind of going through the rule book here a little bit now, too, just seeing if anything has changed. I haven't seen anything yet other than the usual rules. I know that tonight, 64% fuel, by the way, in super speedways, which is pretty close to what they used to run back in the heyday when they had the old 13.5-gallon fuel cells. As we'll come back to the green right here. As Warren gets a pretty good jump on that number 34 car, the Yukon car. Everybody kind of moving around a little bit. I think that's exactly what they're trying to do here, is they're trying to put the car almost down on the ground when it comes to the rear end. to maybe get some pushing, which would create the runs like you're seeing right here. The 91 of Rosenberg goes by. Diego Sainz going to go by. By the way, Sainz and Cam Ingram, I believe, are teammates here too. They were teammates over in the Wednesday Night League. Yeah, see right there, I think the 42's pushing the 91, so you're getting some bump drafting right there, which in this car normally does not happen, and that was because basically you would see the rear end get lifted off the ground because the rear was so high in the air. So what he did, put the rear end to the ground, and all of a sudden you can kind of push it. Yeah, 3, 4 cars going by. Here's Husby. Top side gets a good draft. These cars do have a lot of drag. There's a wicker on the top of this car. You can barely see it. It is literally like an inch. And that wicker causes all the drag in this car to bring it back. It causes the big wake in the air. Matter of fact, I could probably show you this wicker. Look at the push here by Davis. Going to push Husby out front. Husby, a Talladega winner last season, by the way. That wicker is right there. That little black strip. That is called a wicker. You see it on like the GT3 cars and stuff. Sometimes the Indy cars will run them when, yeah, it's nice to be able to say that word again. When they'll run like an oval track or whatever to create some more drag and downforce in the car. That's what that little thingy is the wicker. It's the same package basically that the Cup cars ran back in the late 2000, early 2001. It's the same package that was the infamous 500 that killed Dale Earnhardt, unfortunately. Look at that, 29 to the top side. Who's in that car? Oh, it's Colby Wells. We got a huge run. Heller there pushing him. By the way, hello, Patty. Good to see you. I don't know if I said hi earlier or not. Forgive me. Starting to see some 2 and 3 wide here. And at the line that time by, Davis Warren leads. Look at that. That's a monster outside the window, by the way. Look at the 11, Matthew Weeks. He's a good super speedway racer. The 7, the 07 that is, Jackson Van Pelt. Oh, and Davis moves out of the way. And we got caution on the track. I think we have a wreck back here. Craig Martin, one car's turned backwards. Chris Lewis is in it. Cam Ingram's turned backwards. And Noah Nicholson has gone around. And the second yellow has come out. All right, let's see what happened here. There's Cam down there in the bottom. There's the 85 up top. Carson George, he had Hess up there pushing him. Carson, and something, Heller gets, and, well, there's one thing we can go ahead and agree with here is you see the 12 get some contact, whoever's in that Valvoline car gets hit. All right, it's actually Lewis, I thought it was Valvoline, but it's actually the Marion car. You can, no matter what this car is, and if you can get to the rear end of it, you cannot push it in the corner. Watch this 00. Garrett just had such a good run. A little tap. Well, you know what? And the 85 is out of the gas with Heller, too. So, you know what? I can't blame him for that. Is that a Steak and Shake photo? All right, so caution out for the second time, and you're going to see the cars that did not pit at the first caution going to come to pit road here. And others coming back in. Going to get some damage fixed and so on and so forth. And you're going to get the opportunity to see something you usually don't get to see when I'm on the air. But I don't mind in these little exhibition races having a little bit of fun and being transparent. And you're going to see me edit right here on the stream. Watch this. Let's grab the new logo. Just showed up on the screen right there. This is what I do when I'm off the air. Just shrink her down. We're going to put it right up there. Now you see the magic of live TV right there in front of you. And one other thing that I'm going to try to keep myself doing this season, it's just a matter of me remembering and making notes to myself. But we are going to leave you the option throughout the racing season to see what I am seeing telemetry-wise. You will see a link get posted if you're on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever. There's going to be a link that comes up in chat. That link is my timing and scoring that I am looking at on my screen. It is a version where you can actually edit it for your eyes. So, like, if there's a certain stat you want to keep track of, lap times, positions gained, or whatever, you can actually move things around to your liking. And everything comes right off of my timing and scoring, all the numbers and things. So feel free to have fun with that. Have a little, if you have an extra monitor, you can put it over to the side. You can see during races who's like the fastest car on the track, or who's gained the more spots, or who's pitting, who hasn't pitted, and so on and so forth. So make sure you enjoy that feature, please. As we'll come back to the green this time by, should at least. Yeah, we got a minute here. Let's let me bring Husby up here for a quick second. Mike, I know we're getting ready to go back green, but I just want to bring you up real quickly, man. Obviously, good car there at the start of this race, but more importantly, the sponsor of this race tonight, Harpoon Designs. That's got to be something that you're proud of. I know you sponsored the Polo Award and stuff last year, too.
Yeah, it was, well, I enjoy helping Casey out with the league, with logos and whatever else he needs. So, once again, kind of supporting, but obviously the other design company is taking over title sponsorship, so it's great to have them on board. And yeah, it was actually a pretty sweet restart. That last restart went from like 11th to 1st on that one, so that was kind of fun to get up there and lead a lap at least.
Has the pushing been any different with the back end kind of squatted down?
Well, Davis actually got into me coming off of 2 and was pushing me straight off the corner as well, and I was like, well, I didn't think that was even possible in these cars, so it might be helping give us a little more balance with the pushing.
Well, obviously looking pretty good here so far. I'm just wondering why all of a sudden I'm here and chat through my ears. I thought I had it muted. Great job here. I know you're going back green, so we'll let you go.
All right, thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Mike Husby, of course, the sponsor tonight of the MHDesigns Shootout here at Daytona. Or CX2 before I get yelled at. All right, coming back to the green at lap 17. Not sure why the audio came through there for a second from the other guys. I had that channel muted, but anyways, it is what it is. We go back racing. Track, Tyler Whittemore, who was involved in an accident a little bit ago, otherwise still 24 strong. Look at this. Look at the draft. I mean, Heller, that was about 10-mile-an-hour draft right there. Difference. Coming up to Van Pelt there in the 07, but nowhere to go, so he just backs out of it. He was having some fun up there on that top side. He's going to go up there again. But the one thing we have caught out of all this is you cannot at all push on that push in the corner. Just ain't happening. There you see the draft of 70 of Warren kind of leading that top side there with 85 of Carson George. Look at the middle there. Sometimes you'll get that little just draft up the middle just from getting the suck from both the cars in both lanes. Van Pelt's pulling the 8 right on up. That was one of the big products in this package back in the early 2000s, as I talked about. If you go back and watch those races, anytime a car got stuck in the middle, if you were able to get somebody behind you, it actually pulled you forward instead of backwards. That is Colby Wells in that good wrench number 29 car. Van Pelt now up to third as Garrett Hess topside there going to get shuffled a little bit. Got, of course, the usual players hanging out in the back tonight. Stephen Melnick back there with Stephen Miles. Cam Ingram's back there after the incident. You got Craig Martin, Chris Lewis, all those guys hanging out. As you got to be careful of the wall. The 00 got it there. Doing a fairly good job of just being patient and racing here. Just the 2 incidents here so far. And a reminder again, the Scalicast podcast on episode number 4 this week. We've already covered 3. You can check it out on Spotify, iHeartMedia, and we got to get the 3rd episode up on the YouTube page here. You can see the first 2, or listen to the first 2. You can't really see anything. We're not on video. But you can go listen to the podcast and what we have to talk about. NASCAR stuff, some F1, some IndyCar stuff. We cover racing that we've been a part of that week. A lot of it's the 24 Hours of Daytona, of course, the last couple weeks. And now as we get closer to the oval stuff at Daytona, you'll hear us start talking about that. Obviously, this new Netflix show that's going to kick off on, let's see, today's 26th, would be Tuesday. They just put out a trailer. We'll talk about that probably this Monday night. Ooh, Colby shut the door at Heller. Now, the 8 that usually Heller runs, and you see it on his car, but he's actually in the number 16 tonight. Sorry, he's in the number 17. The 8 tonight is actually here in the 11th position right now. Daniel Camosa in that blue Pabst ribbon, or Pabst blue ribbon, number 8 car. A newcomer to the league. A lot of newcomers, a lot of new faces. That is always good for a league when you get some new drivers in here that are going to work together and have fun. And interested to see what kind of competition we get. Carson George, the 85 car. Carson said that I had to pick on the veterans tonight. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Aren't you a rookie? Or you're not a rookie anymore. He goes, no, I'm not a rookie. And I'm like, well, that makes you a veteran, doesn't it? He goes, no, I'm not a veteran. I've only been here 2nd season. I'm like, well, if you're not a rookie, then what are you? Novice? I mean, I don't know what the proper term that would be. As Heller goes to the front. Going to take his turn out there leading this race. We hit the halfway point. Appreciate the viewers watching here tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. If you happen to like the broadcast, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. If not, then of course we appreciate you coming back. If you got friends and family that love this kind of stuff, feel free to send them over. Tell them about the stream. Hit the subscribe button. As you see, 1,000 subscribers strong. Last time you guys were here, you didn't see commercials. I'm sorry, but hey, I'm now a partner of YouTube's because of the 1,000 subscribers. So definitely an honor to be a part of that, and I appreciate those who have helped become that partner. '91 trying to figure out which lane is going to go. Matthew Weeks, he doesn't care which lane is going to go. He's going to make sure it's his. Wells trying to protect 3 different lanes of contact. Weeks now squeezed into the wall. Can he? Everybody's okay so far. And they finally get it squared away. I kind of saw that coming, the way the moves were happening out there on the track. You got cars being defensive right now. And if they get a caution, I'm sure they'll get that sorted out. But we stay green right now. Guess it's a good thing to get that out of the way, right? The wrecks get out of the way now. Don't have to worry about it during the season. Let's see how that all transpired. I don't even know if it would show me it because, yeah, they weren't ever sideways, so they really didn't. They just more tangled, if anything. I think I might actually have the replay here for you, believe it or not. So you see the 70 of Warren moves up and they make contact. And then obviously the 11 and 00 get stuck to each other. So 23 laps to go. The All-American Cup Series Shootout here, presented by Harpoon Designs, a new sponsor in the series. We'll try to talk to Brantley here throughout the season, of course, as he sponsors the series, as he's been normally the spotter / crew chief for Mark Whitley. Mark choosing not to run in this race tonight, but looking to defend that title and hopefully break this little jinx that has happened here the last couple of seasons, where the winner of the championship kind of struggled the next season. And I say that because you look at, obviously, Matthew Weeks last season had some struggles, or 2 seasons ago. And then Heller, of course, winning season 5, and struggled throughout season 6. Now, hopefully, the 77 won't have those same issues. The way he ran last season, if he does that again, he might be unstoppable. So Cam Ingram back here at the back of the pack. Let's jump on board with him and see what he is seeing up there. And you see the cars moving around. You see the check up here on the inside. Look at this run. That checkup on the inside lane gets him, 2 spots at least. He had to get out of himself. You just got to anticipate all the moves here. Again, this car just drafts so well. Quentin Sutphin there on the inside. The Bang energy drink. Just slinging TV. I now know who that is. And by the way, since Casey Carrington's the one that did these cameras, by the way, big shout out to him for these onboard cameras that he's done with this car. I figured I'm going to introduce this shot. Uh-oh. Josh Dillon spinning right in front of Carrington, who gets through this. Look at that view. As a big wreck behind. Diego Sainz, Kyle Ethier involved. The 85. Dylan Rosenberg getting some damage. We'll hold off on a little debut of another camera. $19 laps to go, and the big one strikes, or close to the big one. Maybe a medium one. Backing up a little bit more here. Whoa! Colby Wells goes for a ride. So they're 3 wide here. It looks like the 70 is about to go to pit road here. Let's move to the 17 car. I'm just trying to get us a better angle here of this. Let's actually, when all else fails, far chase it. Let's see. You know, it's one of those things where the 2 cars, you see this a lot of super speedways, trying to get behind the 8. The 12's there, the 85's trying to come down. They hit each other, and chaos ensues. And Colby Wells goes for a ride. And we got pit stops. We'll show that here in a second, but let's get an onboard shot here of Colby Wells. This is not going to be fun. Seatbelts on, boys. Add Cam Ingram to the list. Look, how did Lewis get through there? He goes straight to the grass. Guess that's safe. Problem is everybody's going to come down. He gets clipped by the 29 a little bit. Yeah, one last. Yeah, there were some cars actually coming to pit road right there when that happened. Add Van Pelt, add the 98 to the damage list. Well then. And look who the leader is, Davis Warren now. After all that. Did he get the pit road as the caution came out there? He might have. Obviously a lot of cars going to get damaged there. And we got some cars in the infield care, or some drivers coming out of the infield care center here. So let's see who we can talk to here real quickly. Colby Wells in the 29 car. Glad to see he is okay, as that was a scary wreck getting turned into the outside wall like that. Colby, first off, we okay? And what did you see?
Yeah, that was crazy. I normally feel like I can tell when these wrecks are about to happen, and that is not one of the moments I thought that was going to happen. We were headed towards the tri-over there on that straight line, and I just got right hooked, and then I was facing the outside wall, then facing a catch fence. So that was crazy. I was having a lot of fun out there, taking it 3 wide, throwing blocks, and it wasn't the happiest of crowd out there, but it was fun, and was trying to back up what I've done in the past couple of research play races, but that didn't plan out like I thought it would.
So, obviously, a little bit of an experiment here. And the one biggest thing I've caught out of this package that obviously Casey and the guys are trying is it looks like you could push this car a little bit more with the rear end squatted down.
Yeah, you can normally with the car, you when you bump, it just puts the bumper underneath the car, and then the bumper flies up, and then you wreck. But with these, you can push it a little bit good. And then I noticed with some of the guys when I went high and I blocked that when they pushed me, that would still work. But if they had a pusher behind them, then it would spin you. So it just depends how you play with it. I really like it. It makes the racing better, I think. I think the Daytona race next week will be amazing with this package. I do think they need to maybe try a little bit of thing with getting up to the gears at the beginning, because that seems a little bit more like an ARCA car, but I think the bumping is about as perfect as you could get it.
Absolutely, man. Well, glad to see you're okay, and unfortunately not going to win the shootout tonight, but hey, it's that Daytona race next week that counts, so we'll see you then.
Appreciate it. We'll be back then, and hopefully see the 29 car parked in victory lane.
Sounds good, buddy. As Kobe Wells, unfortunately off the track after being involved in an accident, we go back green, and a chance for you for the first time this season. Let's turn it up. Caution out the wrecking. Saw Weeks scatter, and Weeks just decided to pull the car behind the wall. All right, so caution out, and I'm hitting the wrong buttons here. Forgive me. There we go. Let's see what brought this caution out. Oh, Weeks was in the wall back there, and then the 07 gets turned. The 12 goes for the infield. And I think Weeks was just not having fun, it looks like, and decided to pull it off there and call it a night. Save that car for Daytona for the 200 next week. So what puts Weeks in the wall? Just get something get stuck or something. All right, 14 laps to go. Obviously, Warren has led the most laps here so far, I believe. I don't actually have that telemetry, but just kind of guessing off of things here. So just looking over here at the Season 7 teams that have signed up here so far. There have only been 3 teams entered, but I'm sure this will add on to by the end of the week. Of course, you got the CX2 team of Carrington, Husby, Josh Dillon, and TDA. Or TBA, I should say. TBA is a very popular person sometimes. You got the Piston Broke Motorsports team with Justin Ray, Craig Martin, Mike Todd. Looks like it'll be part-time and maybe somebody going to be announced there. And then iRacing, Kobe Wells, Stephen Miles, Kyle Ethier, Chris Lewis. And that team. So those are a couple of teams according to the team registration here on Discord. Again, appreciate those watching here tonight. Obviously an exhibition race, so this is the race to get the bugs out of the way. As I think Heller is trying to do the old cup car trick where you flare the rear fender or the sidewall of the car out or whatever. But getting the experiment bugs out of the way, seeing the wrecks happening and that kind of thing, let it happen tonight, because obviously next week it all goes for real with the Daytona 200. We'll have it here at 8:30 Eastern Time on the Captain Esports Network. Victory lane and get a little bit of momentum. So Warren on the outside, Heller inside, Garrett Hess top side, and then 00, the 22 of Craig Martin there on the bottom. The 9 is Casey Carrington, teammate Mike Husby there top side. Nick Terrell in that Doritos car, he was involved in an accident a little bit ago. So start there on the outside of row 4, Stephen Miles in that one car kind of sneaking in. Miles, you want to hear a week for this guy? Okay, there was an incident on Tuesday night that we're not going to talk about. He finished 3rd in his first ever Daytona 24. He finished 2nd in a league race Sunday night in his 3rd start in that league. Had the issue on Tuesday. Wednesday, he wins a championship in another league. And then last night, he finishes 3rd in a super speedway race. And now he is running 7th in this race with a chance potentially to win. I mean, if he can cap off the week with another win, I will trade him anytime he wants. Craig Martin jumping to the top side with those angry teeth. Gets the push from Hess in the 00. Gonna go to the front there for a second. Heller starting to give the push to Davis Warren down on the inside lane. You thought the action was going to pick up earlier. Now it's really going to pick up. You had the first 40 laps in this race to figure out what this car has. And now you see it. And ladies and gentlemen, first time in a cup car here in the Captain Esports Network. We are on board the driver helmet cam with Casey Carrington as he pushes the 8 car. great news is every driver has this camera. As Heller pokes out. Let's go back here to Colin Curlis. Same camera. So they have this similar camera with the TrackCams22.com people, TrackCams for Gourmet, for the open wheel Indy cars. They'll have them for the Cup cars. And here we are. Melnick, the Connecticut-born driver, lives in Georgia now. As there are 3 wide up here with Craig Martin in the middle. Oh, here we go. That is Steve Ritter in that gold and white number 16 car. He's going to drop to the bottom. Ritter, another driver that comes from another league on the Captain Esports Network on Sunday nights and Monday nights. Oh, and around goes Jackson Van Pelt. He and Carson George, they're off the track, no caution. They'll stay green. And this is just the exhibition, by the way. 17 viewers. Appreciate all you guys watching here on the Captain Esports Network. Hopefully you're enjoying yourselves as much as I am on a Friday night. Oh, I thought they were going to go 4 wide. I think Deanna's actually driving to 70 with Davis. That's awesome, Deanna. Great job. Six laps to go. The leaders, here they go. Oh, Ritter about got clobbered. That actually is not going to be... Heller's going backwards. That actually did not end up as big as it could have been. The cars with damage. Davis Warren's involved. You see Heller with some damage. As they say, checkers or wreckers in a race like this, and 99% of the time you're going wreckers. Let's see where this starts. Obviously the pushing was getting intense. 3 wide, 3 by 3 by 3. Oh, 70 gets turned in the corner. So that's the one thing I'm catching here is you can push on the straightaway. Don't do it in the corner. Break there for Davis. Let's see if I can. So here we go. There's a good bump. That's on the straightaway. Going to the corner here. Just got a time to bump out to where right there on the left rear in the corner. Yeah, you just can't do that, unfortunately. But you know what? How you gonna find out if you don't try it? All right, so we're gonna see a lot of cars come to pit road, probably to get damage fixed. Let's give me a driver to talk to. looking for Heller's on pit road. Let's talk to the champion from season 5. Hey, Chris, you got a copy, bud?
Oh, what's up?
Hey, man. Obviously, I know it's not what you wanted there at the end of this race, but hey, the question I have is I'm kind of noticing a trend here of, it looks like with the experiment here it's being tried out, is you could push down the straightaways, but don't even try it in the corners.
I mean, I was able to do it with the guy who had the Kevin Harvick paint scheme.
With Kobe,
So
okay.
it yeah, so I was able to do it.
Interesting.
So.
Were you able to hit him? I mean, was it square? Was it towards the right? I mean, because there it looked like maybe Steve got just to the left of the 70 and it got the car loose.
I haven't tried that, but I haven't. I mean, he might have slammed into him. I didn't really see what happened with him, but when I was doing it, I was just kind of lightly hitting him, like a little, like bounce off of his bumper, I guess.
A little tap, tap, tap already.
Yeah.
Tap it, send it home.
Yeah. Happy going.
There you go. Oh man.
But I'm gonna see if I can't maybe have a shot to win, but I doubt it with the engine damage I got.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got any resets? I don't know if he gave any resets away.
Nope, I wish he did. I'd be back in it.
I will.
But it just feels like every time I race these races down to 5 laps to go, I get wrecked.
Yeah. Well, you're there, which is good. And get it out of the way now. Next week's where it counts.
Yeah, hopefully I don't get into another dumb wreck.
I'll bet you.
Yeah, I probably will. I'll probably be flipping like I was last season.
Yeah, we don't want that. Hey, have fun, man. Best of luck.
Yep, thanks.
All right, buddy. Christopher Heller, obviously, I know he's getting some engine damage fixed there, unfortunately. So he said he was able to push. So I don't know. I'm kind of getting mixed reactions when it comes to who's able to do what here. But you saw Steve Ritter go to pit road. Not sure if he had some damage to fix or if he was short on fuel. But we are going to come to the green this time by with a legit green-white checker. We actually have 2 laps to go this time by. But again, next week, come join us at Daytona, 8:30 Eastern Time. We'll be green for the 200-miler. Last season, Leslie Law went to victory lane. Was that season? That might have been season. That was actually season 6. Let me correct myself. I get the 2 seasons mixed up easily. I'll be on my A game next week, I promise. We'll struggle tonight. Miles right up there in that top lane. He's got Cam Ingram. He's got Chris Lewis. That is a pretty good trio of guys right up there. 2 teammates and then Cam Ingram right there with them. As they're going to come to the green flag, Steve Melnick down there on the bottom side, 3rd row. That's going to be another potential car working together with those guys. We'll have to see here. Good restart, maybe too good for Hess. Colin Curlis. And that black and gold 54 car is going to go to the bottom and go to the lead, as I think Hess went and picked up Miles. Lewis is going to go to the bottom. Lewis gets to the... There's that push I was telling you. And caution is back out. I don't know where it's at. It's going to put the race in overtime. Was it Josh Dillon? Oh, back there. Mike Husby goes around. Dadgummit. Yeah, do it again. Again, if you can't win it, crash them. Crash the car. Don't bring it home. Ethier went to help the 19, it looks like, and that, I think Husby was trying to let the cars go, but again, we talk about the way this car is sitting on the rear end of it. And you know what I think happened here is I think the bottom of the car bottomed out, the rear of the car. And it spun him around. Yeah, look at the sparks there. Sparks there, the right rear is sitting on the ground right now, literally. He wedges the car, left rear is in the air. All right, now Miles, I thought Miles was coming to pit road here. So now the question, who has the fuel to get to the finish? Terrell trying to take out the pace car right there. So it looks like iRacing gave Curtis the lead, has second now. Miles. Chris Lewis is now fourth with Cam Ingram fifth. Unfortunately, that's why you're not hearing me talk to many drivers. Just a lot of them not hanging out in Discord. It looks like just maybe in their own Discord chats or whatever. I'm only limited to certain accesses to those. So we get one to go this time by, and we'll get the green-white checker for the first time here. Subscriptions tonight, pretty cool there. Appreciate those guys who have done that. And for those who did not expect this kind of race potential tonight, a wild one with Rex, you won't get this much next week. Just know that. Of course, there's something on the line next week. Tonight it's all about learning and having fun and that kind of thing, and that's what they're doing here in Daytona. You know, there's a reason why you go back to those last couple seasons where the clash or the shootout was going on at Daytona. It was pretty much checkers or wreckers. I mean, heck, Eric Jones won the race a couple of seasons ago, and the car had, I mean, a completely torn apart nose. All right, going to come back to the green here. Can they bring it home? Or will we try it again? As Curlis leads them to the green, Garrett has second. Miles, Lewis, 48 of Ingram, Melnick also there. Very spread out. This is not what they wanted up front. Drag the brake back. Miles is going to get a pretty good run. The 48 is going to get an even better run. Oh, contact with Ingram in the 00. Trying to bring it home here. Blinking out a little bit, and a caution back out. I don't know where it's at again. Might be the belt. No, it's not him. He's in 6th. I don't know. I'll baffled. I've never seen. I don't know where it's at. Like, I'm looking in the back there. I don't see it. And Husby's out here on his own. Maybe around here somewhere we'll see a car get turned. I don't see cars. I mean, there's no cars spun around anywhere here. If anyone knows what a caution is, please speak up, because I can't find it. And they're racing hard up front. I guess I'll have to do my old trick. For those who've never, I'm about to teach you something here. Anybody ever decides to broadcast or admin or whatever in a race, let me teach you a trick. You have to go into iRacing to do this. So, in the event you ever can't find a caution, they're going to shorten the caution, by the way. So, they're about to go green, actually. It's going to be a quickie yellow here, so I got to hurry up with this. You go to the pace car, and you watch it, and you wait for the lights to come on. There's the lights. Okay, caution's out. So, somewhere here, there's a car sideways or something. Unless there was a manual caution thrown. That could be another option. It was not. I don't know what happened. Oh, yeah, Casey Carrington threw the caution. So that's what happened. There was no wreck. It was a admin thrown caution. So we're going to go back green, it looks like. That's what happened. This is where you get the bugs out. It's an exhibition race. You get away with whatever. 01 Charlotte All-Star Race. Use that for the example. Jeff Gordon and multiples wrecked their cars after it pretty much just starts monsooning in turn 1 as the restart, or as the start of the race happens. NASCAR says, hey, pull out the backup cars. They pull out the backup cars. Jeff Gordon goes to victory lane in a backup car. Viewers here tonight getting ready to watch the finish. The MHDesigns shootout here at Daytona. Who's going to grab that little bit of momentum? You're going to get going to the 200 next week. Let's try to find out. Another good restart there in the inside lane. This time a better restart for him as he doesn't get too far away. Moves up to Miles and Melnick. Lewis. Cam Ingram getting down to the bottom with Garrett Hess. Curlis almost throws the block on Miles. Tried to, and now he got himself stuck in the middle. Oh, and around goes Craig Martin in the back. If he can keep it off the track, we're going to stay green. He does. He threw that thing in the reverse and made sure he didn't bring the caution out. White flag. This race will finish under green as they wreck in the back. Carrington and Lewis. We'll go back to that. Miles getting pushed by Curlis. Hess pushing Ingram in the 48 as Miles going to get pushed down to the front. Who's going to make what moves? As they drag race, Curlis pulls out as they're going to be 3 wide across the line as Ingram, as they wad it up, wins the shootout at Daytona. And that's going to leave a mark, whoever that was. Cam Ingram in the 48. Grew up a big Jimmy Johnson fan. I don't even think Cam's in Discord. I was going to bring him up and talk to him real quick. He's going to be pretty pumped up about this win. Well, I said checkers of records, did I not? What's kind of funny about this whole thing is the Wednesday Night League you see on the Captain Esports Network. His father, Cedric Ingram, went to victory lane in the opener at Daytona in that race. Now, that wasn't the shootout, though. That was the actual league race. Okay, I'm celebrating. Getting himself a victory here as we look at the final results. Can get it to work. Okay, that one, at least this one's actually working. It's just a big title. Hey, you see Cam Ingram holds off Miles by 32 100ths of a second. Curlis, Hess, Ether, your top 5. Melnick, Warren, Noah Nicholson, Quentin Sutphin, Daniel Camosa, Christopher Heller. Finishes 11th. Craig Martin, Carson George, Van Pelt, Lewis, Carrington, Husby. Terrell, Rosenberg, Ritter, Dylan, Weeks, Wells, Signs, and Whittemore. Your finishers here in the opener tonight. Let's go back to what happened at the start-finish line as they came to the white flag. I mean, they barely got there. You look in the back. looks like I saw contact between the 07 and 111s. The question is, was it netcode or was it... Oh, there's contact right there. Yeah, Lewis gets into the back of Van Pelt. And then unfortunately gets turned down. Carrington's going to get turned. The 85 gets turned. And Sutphin gets sideswiped, amongst other things. That's what a great push here. And I knew it. And the reason why, if you listen real closely, I said as they're running back straightaway, who would make the first move, or who would make the move. And the reason why I said that is the way they're running right here, if anybody made a move out of line, it was going to kill the momentum. So what you're going to see is they're going to go into 3 and 4. They stay neck and neck here. So both rows have the momentum here. It's a good neck and neck battle. You're going to see the 54 pull out of line off the front stretch here. And watch, it kills Miles' momentum right there. And that's where you see the 48 edges ahead. And then Ethier just turns Miles trying to get him to the line. And that's what gives Cam the win. All right, let's talk to... He's still not even here. Are you going to come talk, or... I guess Cam don't want to talk to me. In fact, none of the top three... Well, Miles is in here, second place finisher. Let's get Miles. We'll talk to him. A co-host in the...
3 wide.
Scalicast, as I always interrupt in mid-sentence. I'm pretty good at that. What's up, man? Obviously, that was a wild race. Thank God there was nothing on the line, but just, I don't know, the right to brag, I guess. But the wild race there. I knew coming down the backstretch there, I'm like, all right, if anyone pulls out of line here, it's going to kill the momentum.
Yeah,
and
I knew it.
And 54 pulled out, or whatever number he is. The 54 pulled out on you, and well, you fought.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen, man. I think a lap before that, Lewis was on the backside giving me a good push on the third lane, and he got into the wall, so I had to leave him out to the dry and get to the middle. And me and Cam, we so close, we friends or whatever, so I gave him a shot, and I didn't mean to give him that big of a shot and move him back down, but I was like, I'd rather it be me and him or whatever at the end, and I thought we were just going to have a drag race, and something told me in the back of my head when I came out of Ford that Colin was going to make it 3 wide, and I knew my teammate was behind him, but I knew it was going to be enough, and by the time Ether got to my back bumper, I mean, bumping in these cars through the tribal is not safe at all, and he just looped me around. So it was a thrilling finish, man. Wish the best for Cam, man. He earned that when he drove back through the field after he got in a little caution or whatever. Me, I just sat in the back the whole time and waited it out until it was time to make a move. And when everybody pitted, I just stayed out, and that's when I really just raced in. But it was a good run.
So far, you now have, what, 2 third-place finishes, 2 seconds, and a first all week?
Yeah, and I feel like Tuesday supposed to be the first. I feel like every day supposed to be a first, but hey, I feel like today was supposed to be a first. But I mean, gotta be humble, and you gotta take these good finishes and really take them to the heart, because a lot of people race out here and beg for top 5s because how high this competition is around in almost every league. So I'm blessed to get it.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight, and send some shout-outs.
Shout out to the Treehouse. Shout out to my teammates, Ether, Kobe, Lewis. Appreciate Carrington for putting on this league, man. One of the best ARCA league, Gen 4 leagues around. And he has a ton of my respect. Appreciate you for being the best broadcaster you are around the world. And shout out to the Scholar Cast that premieres every Tuesday. And thank God and my girlfriend. And that'll be it.
There you go, man. Great job tonight, and go take a break finally.
I got one tomorrow, so
Oh,
I
that's
got
right.
one.
You do,
I
don't you? I
got a
forgot
race
OP.
tomorrow, then I got a race Sunday, and then we do it all over again, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week like a job.
No days off. No days off.
No days off.
Hard
Well,
hat.
Wednesday, because
Well, yeah,
GLSR just
that's
won the
true.
championship, so I'm off Wednesdays.
Hard
Yeah.
hat, lunch pail, straight up.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Good job.
Thanks.
Stephen Miles finishing in second tonight here, and we were able to collect the other two drivers here. We'll get Colin Curlis up here as he finishes in the third position tonight. Colin, obviously, for you, obviously pushing the one car and had to make a move, and you made the move to the top side there and didn't really have much help, and turns out a third place finish for you.
Yeah, I had a good time with it. My main mistake was coming to 2 to go with the Liz the leader. I messed up. I was trying to block the top and then got sent 3 wide middle. That kind of screwed me there. And at that point, I was just gonna push for as long as I could until I thought the time was right to make it 3 wide. And I thought there was a good time, but apparently it was close, but just not close enough.
Was that one of those things where you feel like maybe if you go back and look at the replay, you realize maybe you moved up too late, which sets you up for the bottom side not to have the room?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, looking back at it, I think I just screwed myself again. Like I said, I screwed myself
Right.
coming to go. So I think at that point that was my race right there. But I don't know if I made the move too late because I thought about making it on the backstretch, but I didn't think the run was gonna be there, so I didn't go for it, which I think was the right decision because I didn't think I was gonna have anyone go with me, so I was kind of just a prayer. So maybe, but I don't know.
You got to try to win it somehow. But obviously, first race out here with the guys, did you learn a lot for next week?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot. I had a ton of fun. This was one of the haven't done a lot of league racing recently, so this is one of the things I've done in a while. So I had a ton of fun with it. It's a bit chaotic race, but it was still a ton of fun. I enjoyed it.
Side note: who's this Warrior guy?
Oh yeah, they're one of my friends. One of my friends from real life. I told them about this. I told them I was going to do this, and they were like really excited about this. So I just kind of let them. They're just like, "Can I watch?" I'm like, "Sure."
He's like one of your hype guys. No, he was fun. He was fun. So,
Yeah.
Nice job, man. Send some shout outs.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Colin Cowhurst. I'm going to screw his name up a bunch because, like, I see his name, and I apologize in advance. And I, like, 4 names come to my head immediately. Curlis. I'll get it right. So, good job on Colin's part. I'm going to make T-shirts. His PR manager. I want one of these shirts. All right. So, nice job by Colin finishing in the third position tonight behind this guy, Cam Ingram, who goes to victory lane just like Papa did a few weeks back in the season opener on Wednesday nights. He come out here on Friday nights. And unlike 2006, where there was like 100% fog on the track and mist and stuff, you go to victory lane and win the shootout here at Daytona.
I can't believe it. That was really fun. I really wasn't expecting this at all. I was expecting to be up in the front most of the race, but I knew with the 3 wide, every time they went 3 wide, there was some brewing. So I knew once I got up in the first caution, I just had to mind my business.
Well, good trivia question here for you. Do you remember who the crew chief was for the 48 car in that Daytona 500?
Darian Grubb.
Darian Grubb, very good. Yes, Chad Knaus got in trouble one of his many times and missed that race. So Darian Grubb actually won that 500. So the race itself, obviously, a little bit of experiment with some things, trying to set up for the 200 miler next week. You'll learn a lot with these guys and take some notes for next week.
Yes. I couldn't necessarily determine the difference between the setup we're using right now and what they would regularly use like in a fixed race, but I learned a lot of just like how the cars drive and what I'll have to do to get through the traffic. But it was definitely fun to run with some of these guys and see some familiar faces as well.
Well, obviously did a great job, man. You kick off the season with a win at Daytona, so a little bit of momentum as you go towards the 200 next week. Send some shout outs whoever you like to.
I want to shout out to the Gunslinger team, Diego, my dad, Everett. I want to shout out to you. Shout out to Steven. That's a good friend of mine. We definitely do a little bit of talking. We lift each other up behind closed doors. So shout out to him. And, shout out to everybody in the stream right now.
Hold on. I just noticed something. This is the first time you and I have talked in Victory Lane, I think.
You know, you're right.
No more ramen noodles for this guy.
I get to
Diego, where
eat.
you at?
I get to eat. Yes.
Oh, great job, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, man. Cam Ingram going to Victory Lane. That is an inside joke, basically, of all. Cam would run on Wednesday nights, and I'd be broadcasting. He'd be running well, and something would go wrong, and we'd be like, back to ramen noodles for Cam Ingram. And your boy finally, Diego and Chad. Oh, man, that was fun. But this, you know what? I know there's going to be some disappointed people and stuff, but you know what? This was supposed to be a fun night for people to get to learn and, experiment and stuff like that. And, you get your 10 minutes or whatever to be angry, and you get ready to go get the real thing next week here at Daytona. So definitely had fun myself learning some new names tonight. And, I'm ready. Let's go next Friday. Let's get it done. And we'll get Casey Carrington over on the Scalicast this week and preview what's coming up on the season. Again, let me show you the schedule here of what we're looking at this season. And I like the assortment here. Of course, Daytona. And then, these Gen 4 cars at Auto Club, you are going to see cars for the bottom of the track all the way to the top. And it's going to be trying to find a lane. Vegas, I think you're going to see more of the same. I'm curious to see. We actually have a league race I got on Sunday here at Vegas. And I'm curious to see. That'll tell me a lot of what I need to know for this car, too, at that track. Rockingham, we know that's going to be bottom to top all day. Bristol. Can we get a bottom lane to actually work at Bristol? That would make things interesting. Of course, the 09 Texas track, that's going to spread out with the worn surface there. Pocono is going to be interesting. Twin Ring Motegi. I think that's going to be more of a bottom feeding track, but you could see something out of that wide track. Charlotte 08, that's going to produce some flair there on that old surface road. Atlanta, it's a road course, so yeah. Talladega, we know what that's going to do. Iowa's going to get wild because that's a progressive banking bottom of the top. Everybody's going to run there. Dover, if you saw the intro video, you see the race that Alex Bryson won at Dover from the top side, making a pass on the last lap, and then, of course, the Atlanta 08. I mean, there are so many potential tracks on here where we're going to see side-by-side, three-wide racing. We could be in line to see some of the best racing we've seen in this series, at least the 3 seasons now that we're coming up on for the Captain Esports Network here. So Casey's got a good schedule set up, and we get the good group of guys in here to put on the show like we did tonight, minus the Rex, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So looking forward to it. So, all right, let's go get ready for that, and we'll come back next Friday at 8:30 Eastern Time here from Daytona, and have some fun. So we'll see you then. As for now, we take off and tell you enjoy the rest of your Friday night. And this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, retransmitted in any form. It's not authorized for the consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.